We all are aware that life expectancy is increasing globally. On an average, it has improved to around 70 years in India and 80 years in the UK, just to give you an example. So, when a person reaches the midpoint of their life, at least a quarter of them go through mid-life crisis. This term was coined by Elliot Jaques in the year 1965 and it is marked by three major characteristics. The first being overload stressors when a person has to manage many different responsibilities at one time. The second could be discontentment due to declining physical abilities. And the third could be restlessness anywhere between the age of 40 to 65 years. Unfortunately, researchers are majorly focused on childhood, adolescence, and old age, but midlife is the least charted territory of human development. The good news is most of the people do not experience the crisis part of it. Yet there are some who feel insecure, bored, sad, confused, or struggle with maintaining themselves physically or professionally, so they surely get impacted psychologically. Again, there are a few who transition smoothly through the phase, and therefore, in the field of psychology, it is a debatable issue whether midlife crisis even exists. So let us listen to the views of Mr. Manish Bhatt on the topic and learn about his coping mechanism. Mr. Bhatt is an advertising entrepreneur residing in Gurugram, India, and being the founder of August Communications, he is a genius with writing headlines, concepts, fillers, rhymes, and jingles for renowned brands. So I just started my own thing called Psychology Simplified, which focuses on how can we make people understand what psychology is in lay language. So
Okay.
that is it.
Okay. So how can I help?
So I had two questions
Mhm.
which I would like to ask you, and you can give a candid response to them.
All right.
So the first one is, what are the common problems faced by people in your age?
Mhm. So I am 46 years old. Mhm. And problems, I guess it's not a problem, but what happens at this age is that you are almost at the midpoint of your conceivable life, right? If you imagine yourself to be around 80, if you live healthy, then 40 is around the middle of your life, and you have as much in the past as in the future. So typically what happens is that you start taking stock, and you start thinking of things you wanted to do, the things you could have done or should have done. Are you at a point in life where you wanted to be? So all that questioning happens, which I think is pretty natural. And also, the other factor is that, well, for example, at your age, when you're 20, 25, uh, you still have to get on a study path, whether it is in terms of career, or it is in terms of a study relationship, things that are going to stay with you for the rest of your life. So there is a lot of uncertainty, and there's a lot of looking forward to. There's a lot of, so the problems at 25 are completely different. You are anxious about the future, what is going to happen, what are the things and people that I will land up with. At 46, it is the same things, but from a retrospective, where you think that the career that you are with for the several years of your life, the people that you are with, the friends that you're with, the things that you're with, are they the thing? Did you take the right decisions, for example, 20 years ago? I mean, in terms of relationships, in terms of career, in terms of the city that you want. So all the major decisions by this time are more or less settled. It is very likely that you're going to be on this path for a long time now, or probably for the rest of your life. So I think that's what people call middle age crisis. I don't like to call it a crisis. It would be a crisis if
You can call it a second innings at life.
yeah, it's just a stage of life. In fact, my in my experience, people, if they live their life right, And if they increase their self-awareness with time, then they are only bound to get happier with age. So, barring the factor that obviously you lose a bit of vitality and fitness and the things that you could do in your youth, you cannot do them anymore. Or so, barring that, which is a trade-off, the the things that work for you are that you know yourself better, that you know your problems and your opportunities and your strengths and your weaknesses a little better, and you can maneuver around them better. You know, you can focus more on your strength and focus avoid more of your weaknesses. That's something that you have more control over. So typically you are more likely to be happy at my age. But yeah, so there are questions that come at this age. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I had a smaller question to that. Like, how do you cope with this crisis? Like,
I
what do you make yourself understand when you reach that age?
I see again. I know that crisis is the common word for it, but I have kind of a strong objection to it. I haven't experienced it as a crisis. What the coping strategies of whatever problems you face? One is that I think uh, being at peace with whoever you are and wherever you are in life uh, is something that, and it's applicable at every stage, whether you're a millionaire or whether you're still a struggler or whether whatever it is. But just embracing yourself more wholeheartedly, understanding that you're going to have weaknesses, that, understanding that there are things you will never be good at,
So,
and cherishing what you have, that I think is the best coping strategy. And if you're lucky, I mean, if you have people in your life that care for you, despite your negatives and positives, I mean, that is something that is the greatest grounding that you can have. No man is an island, so every man is supported by a core network of people. So if you have those people right by a stroke of luck or maneuvering, or you played well or whatever, then I think then you've got it made.
perfect.
Anything else?
Thank you so much. No, that was it. I have recorded the conversation, so I'll be using that with your consent. So, that was shared by an ardent fan of pop culture. Now, an excerpt from the book Life in the Middle focuses on how the cognitive abilities of people in their midlife has improved more than in their 20s. So those of you who are still feeling overwhelmed entering this new stage in your life, try a few techniques. The first could be exercising, which releases toxins, and the second could be increasing your self-awareness, which I've also mentioned in my book, My Mind on a Couch. And the technique I used was MICR, which is meditation, introspection, contemplation, and reflection. All the best. Toodles.